Welcome to the final session of our five-part series, Marketing from Scary to Attainable, from the Library System Communications and Marketing Consultants within our Southeastern Wisconsin region. It includes Bridges, Kenosha County, Milwaukee County Federated, Monarch, and Prairie Lakes Library Systems. And I'm Emily Heller. I'm the Public Communications Coordinator at Bridges. So first of all, we want to congratulate you all for making it this far in the marketing plan journey. You know, the planning process can be quite a trip, sometimes with detours and delays, but don't worry, you'll get there. And just a quick recap of what we've covered so far. We covered why having a plan is important to help with your efforts. It's that roadmap you need to sort through all your limited manpower, your funding, and materials in order to be successful in marketing your library and all the resources. We also discovered who our audiences are through research tools and data gathering, and knowing that our communities, about their communities, also helped us form those SMART goals. Next, we talked about what steps need to happen to create a successful marketing plan, choosing the venues, setting budgets, crafting messages, and then pulling it all together. And finally, last week, we talked about when. When is it time to start executing the plan? And we talked about strategies, how to fit it into our schedules, and what those timelines might look like, timelines. So now we are at the where along the project timeline, and this is where will I notice a difference? Where did I see growth? Where can I do better next time? And where can I go from here? So today we're going to cover measuring your effectiveness, finding improvement areas, and repeating the success. So we'll start with measure. How did it go? Was it successful? Did you meet your goal that you set? So in the last session, Deb and Tova talked about tracking metrics, measuring before and after campaigns and efforts using a huge variety of tools. I listed some of them here. And this will help you identify your key performance indicators, or the KPIs, if you've heard that before. Review your analytics. For some of the analytics could be the website. Did you see an increase? Or maybe there's a certain web page that is being accessed. And we talked a little bit about doing Google Analytics for that. Also, did your social media engagement increase? Or maybe how many people clicked on their email and opened it and looked at those links within? Did you have a lot of people come to events? Did you count those? Did the door counters increase, or did your circulation go up? Also, you could access reports from third-party vendors if that's part of your goal. Libby or Hoopla, Udemy, maybe even computer or Wi-Fi use within your building. And then also you could check with your participants and patrons as well as staff with surveys. Ask their opinions. Do you have a Google business profile that perhaps has testimonials on it? And when you do this, consider what success looks like for your goal or your plan and outline that. The SMART goals that you do end up writing will be measurable in some fashion, and that's a great place to start. But it's also important to consider the qualitative analytics. So the qualitative success is the characteristics from data that don't necessarily have a measurable portion or with numbers, but they're definitely valuable for understanding patterns and behaviors or opinions. So for example, you could use feedback from patrons about their experiences, or gather survey information. But it could also be from observations you make during programs or around the building. You can formalize this process. Maybe you see people making connections with each other, and this is, maybe building community. Or you show people are using this space or they're really into the project or a program. And this could be, engagement and discovery. Perhaps you see families reading together or playing together, and this could be like multi-age learning within your building. And my favorite, which makes you always feel good, is when someone expresses joy or success in something they're making, or the relationships they have, or what they've discovered at the library. So these could all be big wins for your goal. So be sure to make note of those. Also, how close were you to making that goal? If your goal was, for example, just to check out ebooks, then increase that by 15%, and you saw only 12%, don't be discouraged. While you didn't, necessarily meet the exact goal, it definitely shows that there was some positive traction in this area, especially if it outperformed what you or your library had been doing before. So this is also a really big win. So next, we're going to look at how to improve. What could be done better? What elements didn't work? So start by pinpointing what worked. Look at what strategies had maybe the most impact for you. Perhaps the venues where you place things. Where did you go and how did you get your message out? Did you notice that a particular group in your target demographic engaged more than others? Also, maybe identify the specific types of messaging or visuals or content formats that got the most attention. And don't forget about your team. Find out how the timeline was, how it worked with their work. Was your communication good? Was it too much of a workload for a team? Perhaps was it worth the investment of time and money when you figure out that it took a lot of time, but it didn't really result in anything? And then identify what areas underperformed and why. And these sometimes are outside of being very specific. So take your best guess. What platforms at the venues were you trying to engage with people? And then what of those outcomes were lower than you were expected? Maybe you can pinpoint why that was. Maybe you find out that your messaging was a mismatch for who you were trying to reach in your target audience. Maybe that message was not clear or not compelling enough. Or maybe just like the timing of your campaign overlapped with other events and holidays and got lost in the messaging out there in the world of too much information. Then after that, refine your approach. Based on what you learn, you can fine-tune your strategies, your plan, and your timelines. Maybe look at that language you used and see if you could adjust it to better meet your needs. There's A and B testing you can do with emails. You can choose different subject lines or images. Social media also has A/B testing to help you refine your messaging a bit more. You could revise content. Maybe you find that the personal stories and storytelling was received better, and you decide, I'm going to use that more often. And maybe you should look at the audience once again, all of our favorite parts of research, but was it the wrong group? Or maybe that was the wrong venue for the group where you placed the messaging. You also want to look at your budget. Maybe you could reallocate money from another area to areas that were showing better results. And again, the team. Don't forget to check with them and adjust workloads and maybe even team members. By continuously refining your strategies, you'll be able to make marketing more effective and more efficient. And that's really the ultimate goal in refining your approach. So next, you're going to do a lessons learned document. You keep it with your marketing plan as reference for the future. It would also help other people looking at the plan to see what you've learned. And that helps have some consistency throughout marketing campaigns and could even help you from preventing, making more mistakes in an area. So look at, any insights you found or strategies that worked. Maybe make note of some metrics. And then take it a step further and give yourself the best practices for future use. Some of these things could be making templates that will make you more efficient. You don't have to start over every time. Maybe making more video for social media is really where you're seeing the best results. So make a note of that. Find ways to use it more often. You could focus on community partnerships for local events to take some of the load off your own staff. And maybe you find that, starting to plan your campaigns earlier would help avoid rush timelines. And you notice that, if you're doing something seasonal around, Halloween, for let's say, maybe it works best when you launch it earlier versus the day before. And that helps with, patrons seeing it more often and better engagement there. So next, what you need to do is repeat it. So that's real easy, right? So while you do want to repeat it, you don't want to necessarily just copy and paste what you did, because the whole point of analyzing what you did is to build on the data you have and the insights and the feedback that you gathered. So this is also known as continuous improvement. So got to look at how you could do it again. You can reevaluate those objectives and goals. Maybe you find that they're not relevant anymore. Maybe that trend has ended. You can set new or adjusted goals for future campaigns using those lessons that you learned and those best practices that you outlined for your campaigns. And then you can plan to scale this. Perhaps your campaign was super successful and you want to increase your reach of that next time. Or maybe you find that as much as you love to increase your reach, you just don't have the manpower and the time to do it. And that's okay. It's great to keep it small if it's working, or if time doesn't allow for you to scale it up at this time. Just make note of that in your lessons learned. And perhaps it's a future goal to try it bigger and better the next time. Or I've heard of this as well. Perhaps your event was too successful. You didn't account for how popular something would be and how many people attended. And maybe you need to tweak that. Maybe you don't need as much promotion to be successful. Or maybe you need to add a second session of something. Those are all ways to figure out how to do it again, just only better. So this is the final tip of the sessions, and it's all about establishing that cycle of continuous improvement with yourself and with your team and throughout your library. It's kind of a mindset. So remember that the marketing plan is definitely a living document, and you welcome feedback on it, and it's okay to make adjustments in the middle of it or after it. Is having that goal of having continuous improvement is a great way to keep that in mind as you work. It's okay to adjust the budget and the tactics and schedules as necessary. So it's great if you are able to establish a feedback loop with everyone that you work with. Maybe after each campaign, you can conduct a debrief with the team, find out what went well, what could be improved, and make sure to schedule this as part of your plan, as part of the marketing. Maybe it's just putting something on your calendar to send everyone an email for feedback. Or you can add in some checkpoints if you have a longer campaign, something that's going on all year. And that allows you to, make adjustments as necessary as you're doing it. Just make sure to put it on the schedule so you don't forget and you make it a priority. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And also, it's okay to experiment with new ideas. And if they don't go well, that's okay. Make note of it and move on. Also, don't be scared to try it again once making some adjustments. Doing stuff like this helps you make your campaigns remain relevant. And the ever-changing marketing world, there's always something new to try. And my favorite, there's something old to try again, as things seem to come back around in a cycle. And my favorite part, don't forget to celebrate all the wins. In the cycle of having continuous improvement, it's really important, I think, to celebrate your successes. successes, recognizing the achievements that you make as a team or for yourself, boosts morale. And it also fosters like a positive and motivated team environment, allows you to reflect on what went well. And the best part is it helps you build some confidence in what you're doing. And when you have that confidence, it helps the team have some commitment to some of your other campaigns. For example, I know there's libraries that are doing videos, and since that's such a popular thing right now, once you do one and it goes well, there seems to be more people coming out of the woodwork that want to help or have ideas, and building in the celebration of these helps strengthen your team and your marketing. All right, so up next, it's your turn to continue with this process of making a marketing plan that you will actually use. And I just want to remind everyone that all the recordings and the slides and links to the resources that we referenced in our presentations are all available on the website. So please check those out, and I will invite you to reach out to any of us presenters if you have questions.